Girl, again, I'm so glad Devin stood on all 10. Do you hear what I say? Y'all, let's go ahead and get into Married at First Sight. I know I'm a little behind, but go and like up the video for me anyway, okay? And subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed so we can go ahead and get into episode 18 before the next few episodes drop. All right, let's get into it.
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend, then get it right back, man. She just gotta want all of that, so that's why I bought.
Hey y'all, what's up? Jami, that's me here. Listen. Everybody downstairs. We at the next morning. So y'all know Devin and Miss Girl ended up getting into it. Devin made a decision. I'm out this BIT. I'm not doing this with you no more. Miss Caitlyn tried to reverse engineer the things and have, I guess, America and herself thinking that it was her great idea that this relationship was over whole time. It was really his because he's done with your SHI. So here for it. If y'all wanted to see or wanted to know why the people think Cam is messy, here we are. He see everybody downstairs and he busts out and say, "Oh, everybody back together again. Okay, are we good? Everybody okay?" Baby Marissa just shook her head like, "Here he go. I don't even. Here this nugget go. I don't got time." Here he goes starting some mess early in the morning. So Devin said, yeah, well, we called it. How about that? Me and Caitlyn, we're deciding that we're going to call it. Here go Mecca. For what? For why? What happened? Girl, that man will really make you numb your whole rengekyo. Like, it is, sit down. You know why. You know that you're a part of the reason, just a little bit, but not really the reason for real, for real. However, you definitely sent it overboard. Okay. But at the end of the day, she could have drew a line the way she been drawing lines with Devin this entire damn season. And she ain't really draw a line with you. Shy, she over there putting pillows and drawing lines in the bed to keep Devin on his side, but she didn't draw no line with you sitting over here putting your damn necklace around her neck. But anyway, whole time, Belle really, in my opinion, I was on Belle's head in the previous episode, and I don't take back anything that I may have said because she did look crazy. However, I think Belle is, I don't want to say tapped out, but like I feel like she's at a shoulder shrug at this point. Like, I don't even care no more. That's kind of what I want to believe. But then when you hear her continue to make excuses for him or defend him or do something, it's like, girl, shut up. Because she does something in the car and we'll get to that. But either way, Devin says that he and Caitlyn don't see eye to eye and their communication isn't up to par like it needs to be. And there's always a constant battle on who needs to be right. And he is emotionally drained, as we have been too. Okay. And he doesn't want to keep playing into this toxic cycle. 1000%. Good for you. Good for you. Because you knew when to jump off. Now, granted, you did stay this long. You've been fighting for this long, but I can appreciate you getting off the train. Okay. Now, Caitlyn says that she's tired of the emotional weight that she has to carry from, I guess, their weight of whatever they got going on. And it's like, you carrying the emotional weight? Are you? You couldn't even carry your weight in the relationship, and you talking about you carrying some emotional weight. So she says that she was so confused at the argument last night. I bet you were. I bet you were, because a lot of his emotions or whatever he was upset about, you was just like, it ain't that big of a deal. It ain't that. I mean, you making it bigger than what it is. Right? You did a lot of downplaying, but let the roles have been reversed, and Devin downplayed how you felt. He'll be over there on his knees apologizing like we've seen him do the entire season. So Devin says when she's like, I'm just confused by this argument. That man ate her up when he says, yes, because you don't listen. And you never hear nobody else's side because you're too busy talking. I said, come on. Come on. You only want to hear yourself, so it is what it is, okay? That's not, to me, rooms for a successful marriage. So good luck. Or relationship. Here go Cam Missy Yes. Here he go. He says, Mecca, I heard there were some rumors that you were trying to do a couple swap. Shut up. Okay. But truth be told, I mean, you saying what everybody else is thinking. Like, yeah, I mean, that's what we was hearing around the house, child. A lot of this got started because of you. So Mecca, he's over there saying that he feels responsible. And then Devin says, nah, like, our problems were our problems. Like, it's not your fault. I mean, truth be told, they had problems coming into this situation. Right? You sit over here talking about I'm giving him cues. But instead of you spending more time giving him cues and being in his face, you all outside in Mecca's face. Okay? But either way, Devon assures him that it's not his fault. He says that he had a conversation with Mecca. He checked Mecca. I believe that's what he said. I believe he said, I checked Mecca about overstepping. And then Mecca apologized and it was all good. So, Mecca, if he checked you last night and you knew what it was and it was because of you and you apologized, why would you come in the kitchen and say, why, what for? That's giving performative too, because you wanted to be the talk of the conversation. Just like you sat back and you laid on that couch as they were getting into it and you was enjoying every moment thinking that this is about you. See, Mecca thrives off of that toxicity. That's why I can't wait till Belle tells you no. Okay? So then Devin, he's ready to get out. Devin said, let me get the out this country mother. I said, I know that's a mother. Let me get out this country mother. Immediately. Sit up here dealing with this. I'm done. I'm no more good. I don't want to deal with this lady no more. Okay. And you know, you can leave a situation with such a healthy conscience when you know you did what you needed to do. You made space for that person. You didn't disrespect that person. I mean, they may have been a little shaky because I feel like I clocked him because that whole staying up late at night, that pissed me off. Okay. Come to find out, it probably was her keeping them up till 2, just like she about kept them up till 4. Either way, that man is leaving with a clear conscience because he knows he gave you his all. He know what he did, what he needed to do. He said that it really sucks that he was there to be all in and never felt like she was at all. Now you got Kate. So I love the way he was around that house, unfazed, unbothered, saying his goodbyes. Okay. Hugging on the people. See you later. You're a great person. This, that, and the other. I'm gonna catch you on the flip. Getting up out of there, putting his stuff unbothered into the truck as he gets ready to pull off. Oh, I loved it. I love seeing him package and go. Whole time she over here crying. All over the place, just crying. She crying in the house. She crying outside in the confessional. Just cry, cry, cry. Now it's crazy because now we see that you care. That is so funny because now I'm thinking about Courtney. Remember how Nick started crying when he got outside? And she was like, oh, now I see that you crying. It's like, girl, hush. She was just crying too. Now we see that you crying. Now I'm over here looking at Caitlyn like that. Now we see that you crying. Okay? She's over here crying all over the place. And she was crying in my personal, like he really hurt her. As if she was the one begging him to like see her or open up more to her and all like she was the one tugging. No, it was him the whole time. He was the one begging you for your interest and your affection. So she says that she feels misunderstood. Well, also with you being misunderstood, you weren't really trying to be understood either. To be understood at times, I feel like you gotta be open to being in the space and in community with people. Okay. And you wanted to keep him over here. You was giving him Heisman. So she says that he tried really hard, but he didn't see a lot of her for her. Lies. I'm so sorry. I think he very well did see a lot of you for you. I feel like he overly apologized to you as needed. I honestly feel like he gave you the space that you needed and wanted. He compromised for you. And as the experts say, he dimmed his light. I just feel like you gave him very, very little, and that's on you. That's on you. That's that's on you. And now you get to see what you needed actually walking out that damn door. That's probably who you needed. That's probably who you needed. And now he's walking out of the door. So then she says that she would have loved for it to work out. Oh, really? When did you decide that? When did you decide that? She gonna say the way he treated me, he looked out for me. He did a lot of things that, guys should do, but they never do, or at least they just don't do it for me. I bet you that one lesson she learned, if she ain't learned nothing else, I bet you next time you get it, you gonna know what to do with it. Tell you that. Hate you couldn't appreciate it. Yikes. I feel no ways. Unmoved, unbothered. I'm like Devin putting the bags in the car, getting the hell on. Okay? Mecca, Bell, and Nikki, they all get in the car. I said, wait a minute, I thought Sean drove down there. Did he drive Nikki to her car and they went to pick her car up and then they came down? That's why they were so late. Cause I'm like, how the hell everybody else beat them, you know? And then I'm like, they never showed Belle and Mecca in the car together. So they rhyme back with Nikki. So how the hell did they get down there? But okay, child. It is what it is, okay? Um, Mecca, he's in the car, he's in the back seat. He says at the end of the day, MFers gotta be honest with themselves. Nikki said, who the hell is them? Who is the MFers you talking about? And I want to know too, like, who are you talking about? Because it sounds like you're talking about Caitlyn and Devon. They gotta be honest with themselves. What do you mean by that? Were you trying to say they gotta be honest with themselves? Cause I ain't doing that. I ain't break up that relationship. It was on them. That's what it sounds like. You still thinking that it's about you. It was. It was. But you want that attention though. So then he says, I don't know if they chopped this up that way because his response did not really answer the question that Nikki asked. So then he said his filter is non-existent and he calls himself an idiot. Hmm. He says he keeps saying whatever and doing whatever at the expense of other people. Mecca, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. I don't want to hear it. And the fact that you over there, whatever you doing in the backseat, is still giving to me that you caring more about Devon and Caitlyn and how they feel than you care about Belle and how she may feel. But then again, I don't know. You always act like, oh, I'm so sorry. You always try to take accountability and then you be right back to the same SHI. You and Felipe are twins. Just like Courtney and Caitlyn are twins, Felipe and Mecca are too. Just sitting up here apologizing and then going right back to your usual ways. Like, just stop. Just stop. Okay? I think Belle was like, Mecca, don't call yourself an idiot. And then you got Nikki, yeah, let's be kind to ourselves. I said, absolutely not. The way I would have sat in that front seat on my phone like this with no words. No, I'm actually texting somebody now. Hold on. So, yeah, I would have been up there just like that, not saying anything. Whatever you think you right. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of it. Fast forward, everybody getting home, getting settled back in. Nikki done drank some tea so she could wait up on Sean. Felipe goes over there, sit with his family, talking about Tori, talking about he's still unsure. Whole time he got her thinking that he is sure. What are we doing? He's so full of like, I'm sick of Felipe. Okay. His mama's like, I really like you guys together. I think you're good together. I think you're this. I think you're that. All of that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, really, Haki, mama, you ready to just release this man to be somebody else's problem? Like, that's what's going on. You ready for somebody else to raise your son? That's what's really going on with the situation. She's like, I really like her, but that's on you. You got to make that decision. It is what it is. Let's get to Mecca and Belle. He tells her that she may feel like she shouldn't be put through certain things. You should also feel that way too. So she says, yeah, but at the same, girl, it was a but for me. He gets that she may feel like she shouldn't be put through certain things or whatever. She was like, yeah, I do feel that way. But, at the same time, it's helping me because it's happening for a reason. I said, girl, the reason is his ass being inconsiderate. Just because it's happening doesn't mean that it's a reason for you. I mean, the most reason I guess it would be for you is seeing him for who the hell he is. But what? She said something about how it's helping her to learn how to respond and this, that. Like, what? Okay, Bill, you pissing me, girl. She the excuses that she makes. The way that Mecca speaks down on himself, and you don't like to hear Mecca speak down on himself, is how I feel that you do yourself. I feel like you talk down on yourself when you give him grace like that. You done gave him all the grace that Felipe wish he got. And that's crazy. Mecca says that he created the damage that she feels, and he was betting himself. Um, yeah, no. I think he was like in his head about it or whatever. So he says he created that for her or whatever, created that. However she's feeling, he's damaged her, and he was beating himself up. That's what he said. He was beating himself up about that, and he says that he needs to be the person he know that he can be, and says that his energy was all the way off. Boy, your energy been off since you got in here. Your energy was off at the wedding when you ran around talking to damn near everybody but her. What are we doing? So she says that she doesn't see him like that. Because he said something about him being cocky and arrogant. And he said, I'm not that cocky and arrogant person. That's what you showed us. We can only go off of what you showed. And what you showed is that you are very much so cocky. You're arrogant. You're performative. Like, you're a kid. Yeah. So she says that she doesn't see him like that. And she was like, dang, because she knows that's not who he is. Well, then why would he do it more than one time then if that ain't who he is? I'm tired. So he tells her his answer will still be yes because he knows how he feels about her. Oh, you know how you feel about her, but you won't let her know how you feel about her? And if you know how you feel about her, why would you then go and tell somebody that she's not your dream girl? And then it's so crazy because now as I look back at it, he sit up there and he's talking about, oh, I thought I was having a conversation amongst the guys. I wasn't expecting it to get back to you. Well, you damn sure were not whispering. So you had to know she was going to hear you up in there at some point with your loud mouth self. Okay? Either way, he tells her that his answer will still be yes. He know how he feel about her. He knows how to treat her right or whatever the case is. He knows how to be respectful. Well, if you know all of those things and you knew all of those things, why did you not do that throughout this process? So he says that he does want it to work and he wants her to say yes at the end of the day. But he understands that she has to make the right decision for herself. Whole time he talking though, I feel like Belle wasn't giving much of a reaction. So she says that she knows he understands or whatever, all in all. So she says that she knows it's not her job to heal him or go through torture before being loved correctly. And she doesn't want to do that. But she says a part of her does want to see it through because she can be helpful and impactful when it comes to who he's trying to become. Belle, that's really not your job. That's a therapist's job in my personal. Please stop. But when he was talking to her, she wasn't giving much of a reaction. And part of that leaves me to believe that Belle probably gonna tell him no. And I could be wrong. Okay. I just might be, maybe that's me wishful thinking. She's gonna tell him no, but she's getting this confessional saying something else. So if she says, no. Nikki and Sean. I'm sorry, we're done with them. Nikki and Sean, she tells him about the trip and Belle and Mecca and how she was able to relate to them on the attraction comment. She bring up the fact that he called her a 10 in Seattle. They talk about that. He says the reason he did that was because she grabbed his belly. She grabbed his belly fat and says, "Look at you." And so he said that in response. Now, she said she don't remember none of that. I have a reason to believe that it could have happened, but I don't know, right? So, number one, Sean doesn't seem to remember the order of events correctly, is what it seems. However, one thing about Sean, I feel he's a very anal person. And he's so anal to the point where he will remember all this that you did, but he also won't remember nothing of what he said or did. So for me, it's possible that she did do that. Maybe she did. Maybe he's over exaggerating how it went down. It's possible. It's possible he could be lying. I'm willing to stand in the middle because I don't damn know. I'm not picking a side. It could have happened. It could have not happened. Whatever it was, if it did happen, she was wrong for that. And you following up, trying to undercut her, and be even more spiteful. Oh, well, you're a 7 and da da da. Y'all both was wrong, child. I'm glad y'all both apologized to each other, okay? Which is what they did, and they're gonna move on. Period. So she says they should fight fair and be kind to one another. And yeah, figure that out. Adam and Marissa, they done got sick. I think they got the flu and they got COVID. Adam has been taking care of her though through it all. And that's something that she has loved to see about him. She says that he can slow down. Girl, anybody for to slow down when they sick. What the hell is you talking about? I noticed that Adam does know how to slow down and he can do this and that because he can't go nowhere else. And truth be told, we not at his house. The fact that he could get up and help take care of you, I guarantee you, if you was at that lake house and you was sick, Adam would have got his ass on them skis, on the jet skis, baby, thinking that he was gonna be able to ride the damn flu and the C-19 up out his ass. Do you hear me? Adam gives that if I could get my adrenaline up and pumping and running, this blood flowing, I could beat this. Like, girl, you got this man in a high rise. Ain't no telling how far away from his house he is. Okay? You better be glad y'all not at home talking about so I can see he could slow down. Of course. Who keep going when they sick? Maybe Adam. Maybe. But that's only if he was at home in his element. So they talk about moving in together and he doesn't want her to have to move away from work. It's given Adam's not sold or locked in on her at all. And I feel like he keep doing stuff to remind her, don't pick me. I don't want to hurt your feelings. So I would prefer for you to say no. Okay. So he says, you're just 5 minutes away from your job. I would hate for you to move away from your job when you're just 5 minutes away. So she says, so you think that we should get like a new place or whatever the case is? And I think he called his place a little shack. So when I said that man lived in a junkyard, okay, one of y'all was in my comments feeling away. And it could have been him disguised IDK. But at the end of the day, on this show, he called his own shit something like a shack. So junkyard it is, boo. Either way, he tells her that because she was like, oh, you want us to move into like a new place? Maybe we could do that. And he seemed to be open to it only if they can join a gym and still be active together. And then he gonna throw out compromise. Like if I move up here with you, you gonna have to do something for me, which is you getting in the gym and being active. And then we still gonna have to get this pickleball membership because we're gonna have to play pickleball at least 3 times a week. And then once on the weekends, we're gonna have to at least get that in at least 4 to 5 days. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to get that in. Okay. And she just sitting there looking. I was like, huh? I said, girl, this man wants you to say no. That's the short answer. He wants you to say no. Tori over there, she's feeling hopeful with Felipe now and believes that fighting brought them closer. Oh, really? That's how you feel? Because as soon as Felipe got back to the house, he ran down to the restaurant to his mama and his adopted sister, whatever she is, to tell them that he don't know, he ain't sure. Whole time you over here hopeful. She feels like they can work through things. Felipe breaks out this wedding book. Remember I told y'all about the wedding book? Here he go. Here he go with his FS, honey. Now he tells her that he can sense himself falling for her and that she completes him in many ways. Like, pack this up. This is a liar. Mecca and Belle. Here he go. Because he on his Felipe. He's on his Felipe. Really, he's on his Mecca. Okay. He tells her again that he wants it to work and he asks her what does she need to hear or see to be on the same page as him. Well, you should have been asking her that earlier on. She damn sure didn't need to see or hear that you wasn't that attracted to her and she was more into you than you was into her. Belle says that she's thinking about respecting herself and her self-value, but she is also thinking about the way he has handled her in the positive, including him taking accountability. Then you need to follow that up with Belle. What happened after the positive? After he took accountability, what else happened right after that? Was it probably the same issue? Okay. Either way, she says she's thinking about everything. Mecca says that it's been a process of constant growth or something like that, consistent growth of feelings and attraction. It says that he's fallen in love with her core. So that means you falling in love with her. I'm falling in love with her core and her heart of hearts, you know. He's falling in love with the way she nurtures. Now you falling in love with the way that she protects your ass. And the way that you giving all this long word salad is just giving you full of FS and you feeling like you need to lay it on super thick because decision day is around the corner and you don't want to be alone. Yeah, just like Felipe. I don't want to be alone. That's one thing Felipe kept talking about, which is why he probably be out there hunching a lot of women. He don't want to be alone, but he also don't want to be committed either. Yikes. So anywho, now you got Mecca talking about he adores Belle and cares about her immensely. I said, what? Do you? Flirting in her face? I ain't even hear him apologize for what he said to the guys and the information getting back to her, but he damn sure asked her for a kiss and she leaned in and gave him a kiss, which therefore means another pass to disrespect you. Then he says he could see a future happening with them. What is going on? So she's giving him no reaction, just like she did when they was out there on that pier or dock or wherever they were. And I said, I love that she's not giving him a reaction at all. On the inside, she probably want to smile. But also, she goes in a confessional and she says that he's talking about he loves the things about me, but those things are me. Okay. She says, I think he's afraid to say it out loud that he's in love with me or whatever. Yeah, he is. I don't know what the issue. I don't know what that is. I feel like when you fall in love with somebody, you're not afraid to let them know. But okay. The couples are separating for the night. She's hanging on tight to him, which got me concerned a little bit. I'm like, are you hanging on tight because I'm about to, sleep alone and really miss him? Or are you hanging on tight because I know this probably gonna be the last time we embrace like this? Hello? So Sean and Nikki prepare to separate, but before ending things and going their separate ways until decision day, they ended on a damn bad note. Okay, they get into it. So Sean asked her if she knows the decision she's gonna make or whatever. Does she know her decision going into that day? And she says no, she just needs time to process and pray. And he was like, oh, you gonna pray? You ain't never say that. But pray y'all, girl. And so he asked her, how does it feel to be packing up your dress? And she says it's the end of a chapter. Now, granted, no, she did not really answer the question when he asked you, how does it feel? Right. And so she says it's the end of a chapter and I'm just ready for see what the next one looks like. And he says, now I'm going to ask you a feeling word or something like that. I'm going to ask for a feeling word. How are you feeling? And it's like, Sean, how the hell are you feeling? That's what she should say. How do you feel? So she says the feeling for her is proud taking this hard step to participate in this wild experience. And he was like, wild. Like, yeah, wild. She married a stranger. Like, hello. What? So he tells her that she doesn't have to give a whole speech. Well, you didn't say that I didn't. You're now saying I didn't have to give a whole speech, but that's not what you said in the beginning. When you ask somebody how they feel, like it's gonna come with some things. Like, what's wrong with that? It's given that you was ready for Nikki as to get the hell up out of the house so you could decompress. So he didn't want to hear the whole speech from her. You could tell that pissed her off. And she was like, I'm not gonna say nothing. And he was like, you can. And she was like, no, I'm not gonna say nothing. So she mad. It's get awkward. He asked her, are you frustrated? I know you're frustrated. She's like, hell yeah, I'm frustrated because you just cut me off. So as she's starting to express herself and what she was feeling, he cuts her off again and tells her not to yell at him. He like, please don't get loud at me. Loud. And that's true. I don't disagree. Like, I understand her being mad as hell, but it's like, girl, then y'all gonna get to really yelling and hooping and hollering, and it ain't even worth it. Okay, just all right. So he asked her again how they can fix it and use the tools or whatever. So she tells him that she wants to show up as her authentic self with her husband and not try to control her response. He not try to control her response, and she felt like she was talking to her therapist instead of talking to her damn husband. He does give that. He does give a damn therapist. So he says his intent was to understand her better and not to govern her, and he apologizes, right? That's what therapists do too. They try to understand you better. I feel like if you would not, and then you apologizing for the wrong thing. I feel like if you would have gave her and not cut her off and given her the space, you would have understood how she felt. If you let her had gotten it all out. I said, yeah, this is weird. I don't know if she gonna say yes or no to him. IDK. Either way, Felipe and Tori, he's talking about how he likes her, doesn't want to be alone, but also, doesn't know if he is the man that she deserves. Believe him, girl, and send him home. Send him home to his mama, just like I'm waiting for Bill to send Mecca home to his daddy. Okay? Which is so crazy because Felipe grew up with both of his parents in the household. Mecca grew up with only his father in the household. Yet y'all still came up on some similar That's crazy. Either way, it's not crazy at all. It's not crazy at all. I think a lot of times people be trying to say that two-parent households is going to exclude people of a lot, and it don't. It don't. Character will, but that don't always do it. So if you ain't got two parents that got character, you might end up being fucked up. And then sometimes you got two parents that got great character and the child still be fucked up. Like, it's just, girl, I just feel like this interesting. So he likes Tori, doesn't know what the hell he wants to do. Tori says that she loves his laugh and that he's the life of the party, and she believes their hearts are similar. Y'all hearts are not similar. I'm so sorry. Don't care what nobody says or how they feel. He is an atheist and you are not. Your hearts are not similar. Okay, not only does he not believe in a higher power, girl, he don't believe in commitment either. So they meet up and Felipe is saying a bunch of nothing. I ain't even really writing notes on what he said. He was saying nothing, rambling. Hurry up and get this no up out your mouth, because that's what it sounds like you finna say. Then we learn, right? Tori says she and Felipe had a conversation the night before and he done dropped the bomb on her. And she was like, well, I'm not having it. I'm not having it at all. So she then tells him, I really liked, with the D, you. I said, yikes. So y'all already had the conversation to where this is over and y'all agreed to come to the front to say no. Is that what happened? So she tells him it's important to just be honest, right? I sound like she's trying to get out of him for him to say on camera what was discussed last night. I feel like she got a duty to do based on what the producers told her. So I think she's trying to get that out of him on camera. So also it can further explain why the answer is no. But watch how they probably put Tori and Felipe at the middle to the or the end of the next episode. Either way, she says, do you think what you told me was normal? And he says, yeah. And he regrets it heavily. So I don't know if Felipe could have cheated. I don't know if Felipe has a DRUG addiction or if Felipe has a PORN addiction. Okay, I feel like if he has a PORN addiction because he's over here hunching, or even a DRUG addiction, maybe that's why the SEX bout wasn't that great. Okay, because let's not act like Felipe is experienced in that department. Okay. I think he said he lost his virginity. Well, he didn't say he lost his virginity late, but he wasn't one of those like hunk of a guys, right? That somebody wanted to be all on. It wasn't until he lost all that weight and then women started to be on him like that. So I feel like him sowing his royal oats, he just not jumping off the porch with it. Okay. And that's why he ain't trying to let it go so soon, because he just not getting off the porch. But either way, that's what's going on. I do believe the episode ended up going off after that was said. So again, we'll just have to wait to see what's going to happen between these two. But when Tori said, I really liked you, because she said it was something that she was like, oh, hell no, I'm not tolerating this. Can't wait to find out. But you wasn't tolerating it already. You wasn't tolerating it a long time ago. So I guess you just wanted to get down to decision day. So we shall see. Either way, that's all I got. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.